One to watch for sure. But here down south, Alex, we do have that threat for a tornado along this dry line as well. This is showing you a tornado parameter, just an idea of what the conditions are like altogether. And again, there's Missouri, Kansas, and parts of Oklahoma lighting up for that potential for a tornado.
All right, Dr. Navarro, a lot to watch. And tomorrow, the Torcon numbers no slouch. Once again, we're talking medium numbers of 5s and 4s across the region.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got much more to come after this. Stay with us.
Anna and Mark are heading into retirement and a little nervous, but not so much about what market volatility may do to their retirement savings. That's because they have a Shield annuity from Bright House Financial, which allows them to take advantage of growth opportunities in up markets while maintaining a level of protection in down markets, so they can focus on new things like exotic snacks. Talk with your advisor about Shield annuities from Bright House Financial, established by MetLife.
Behr presents 2 stains, 4 seasons. Ordinary stains say they can do the job, but Behr Premium Stain can weather any weather. Behr Premium Semi-Transparent Stain and Sealer. Overall #1 rated. Weathers it all. Find our most advanced formula exclusively at the Home Depot.
I'm holding out for it. Euro. Till the end of the night. He's gotta be sure, and it's gotta be soon, and it's gotta be larger than life. Euro. Arby's. We have the meats.
Stouffer's presents.
Are you cooking with paper?
New Stouffer's seasoning wraps. Place chicken on the wrap, fold, and cook for deliciously juicy chicken. New Stouffer's seasoning wraps.
Don't wait for a chip like this to crack your whole windshield. With Safelite's exclusive resin, you get a strong repair that you can trust. Plus, with most insurance, a Safelite repair is no cost to you.
Really?
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Mom, Dad, hi. I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. But what a powerful life lesson. And don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll just forgive you.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you.
See if you're eligible to pay no more than $10 a month.
So you planned everything out to be the first one in line for that new superhero movie. Except for the extra hour to drive there. Yeah, seems like you need local now. It's like your local news, but streaming when and where you want it. Now, the next time disaster strikes, you'll be ready to swoop in and save the day. Local Now. Stream on.
Closed captioning brought to you by Grown in Idaho Super Crispy Fries.
New Super Crispy Grown in Idaho frozen fries. Bake up crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Grown in Idaho Super Crispy Fries. Mmm, super crispy.
Look at that. Big time hail, golf ball size hail for us in Nickerson, Kansas. This will be really the MO of storms that we see through the night. That might be on the small side of hail that you see tonight. Dr. Navarro was talking in detail about how we could see softball-sized hail. That's not out of the question this evening.
No, we've seen it already this week and today. Again, the ingredients in play. Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Underground. We are extended with you until 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. Our coverage continues after that as we track day 2 of this severe weather. I'm Alex Wilson.
I'm Mike Bennis. Let's get you up to date on what's happening for us right now. Numerous severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches from Texas all the way up into Illinois and Indiana. And within those red areas in particular, that's where we think the most violent weather could be, including tornadoes from maybe around Childress, Texas, all the way up to maybe southern Iowa.
Yeah, a lot of areas to watch. And we've got the guy here to do just that, Dr. Greg Forbes. Dr. Forbes, again, all modes possible, the hail, the damaging wind, we've seen that, and tornadoes. Where are you watching closely moving forward? I know Oklahoma City is one area you've mentioned.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we have a brand new tornado warning, extreme southwest parts of Oklahoma, way down here, just north of the Red River, and severe thunderstorm. Oh, and a brand new one that is up in the Iowa area that has just come on as we were talking here. So I'll start with the one that's far down south in Oklahoma, just to the south of Frederick, Tillman County, tornado warning there. This is a hook echo. The tornado would tend to occur right along the leading edge of the hook, and that would take it toward places like Victory School, Loveland, and Granfield as it heads east. It, too, like the others, seems to be like it's gusting out pretty quickly. There's the inflow. There's the rain and hail-cooled outflow coming eastbound. So places like Hollister and Granfield could get a tornado. They also could get damaging winds. Up into the Kansas City area, west of Kansas City and west of St. Joseph, no longer tornado warned here. Jackson, Nemaha, Pottawatomie counties, though, you could get damaging winds. And this, I've timed this out coming toward, say, the St. Joseph area at about 7:54. Then down into parts of the storm that's heading toward the Oklahoma City area, supercell thunderstorm around Binger, Caddo, Canadian, and Grady counties, large hail, damaging winds. That hail and maybe an isolated tornado, if it recycles, could come over toward Mustang and then Oklahoma City, Midwest City, the 7:24, 7:45, 7:56 time frame. And another hook echo just southwest of that in Caddo County would be coming in toward Gracemont, Anadarko, the Amber area. If it develops a little more intense rotation, it could produce a tornado. Now, here's the tornado warning up in southwest Iowa, Ringgold County. And let me zoom in just a little bit and give a little bit more details on this one. To show that it could be coming toward places like Tingley in Iowa, and show here the velocities on this one. Not seeing any extremely tight rotation showing up on this particular storm. So this one is Doppler indicated, but places like Arispe and the diagonal of the Elston area down toward Mount Ayr and ultimately Leon might have that tornado threat. Now, taking a little bit more look across Kansas, Topeka, non-severe thunderstorms, at least for the moment, headed toward you and heading toward I-35, toward Emporia. They're right into the Wichita area. Isolated severe thunderstorm just south of Enid. These kind of supercells can never totally rule out them becoming tornadic. That's the same also with this storm down Snyder, Oklahoma, heading toward the Elgin, Oklahoma area. And then down into Texas, looks more like a damaging wind threat, Haskell, Shackelford, and Throckmorton counties. Damaging wind threat in Indiana as this storm bows out, heading toward Knox, Indiana, and a number of individual storms heading back toward the Chicago metro area from south and east of Rockford over toward Rochelle and the Sterling area. So we're going to go now to Topeka and Chris Bruin as storms are heading right into him. Chris?
Hey, Dr. Greg Forbes, while I still have you, I have a question for you. If we can pull up radar again, not a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings or any tornado warnings with the line that's moving through central Kansas, at least near Wichita up towards the I-70 corridor. But is this becoming more of a damaging wind threat? It does look like there is a gust front there just to the northeast of Wichita. Do you see that?
Yeah, I definitely do, Chris. And what has been happening with some of these storms is that the storms that are oriented more northeast, southwest have been kind of getting aligned parallel to the wind, and so they've been gusting out. They've been getting a little bit of a gust front, so a strong wind gust will come in with a leading edge or even before the leading edge of the heavy rain, maybe severe in some places. Most of them, as you say, at the moment are not severe warned, except where the line is oriented more northwest southeast and is perpendicular to some of those winds aloft. That's where the damaging winds are heading up towards St. Joseph.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. We'll have to see what that low-level jet does as it increases overnight tonight. But we're here in Topeka, Kansas, right along Interstate 70. This is on the west side of the capital. And again, we're awaiting the line of storms not far away. If you look off to behind me, that's facing west. So those are where the storms are going to come in. And you can see the storm off to my right, off towards the right of the screen. That one was severe warned, but it's going to miss Topeka. And again, a lot of these storms, it's really hail. That's the biggest threat. And I also don't want to, downplay the flash flooding, because that could be a big concern. And flash flooding can be just as deadly, if not deadlier, than tornadoes. Keep in mind, flooding is the #1 weather-related hazard in the U.S. So flooding is going to be a big issue. We got rain overnight. We have a long way to go with heavy downpours, thunderstorms. This is not going to be a quick-moving line and then over and done with. We're going to have a series of heavy downpours, thunderstorms, and rounds upon rounds of severe weather this evening, overnight tonight, and then again as we go into the day tomorrow. So that's something we're going to have to watch closely. In fact, if you are caught on the road and you're going to be traveling, very interesting feature here in Kansas. They do have storm shelters along Interstate 70 and the Kansas Turnpike. Take a look at some of those locations. And again, you can pull this up on the Kansas Highway Department or a local agency if you are going to be traveling through the state of Kansas. And if you do get caught in your car and hear a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning on the radio and you don't know where to go, be sure to locate where that closest storm shelter is. You can see they're scattered across the state, right on the side of the interstates. A very cool feature and a very safe feature to have in a state that is very well known for tornadoes. And again, timing it out, this is going to be an overnight threat. As Jim Cantori and Dr. Greg Forrest have been mentioning, we have another low-level jet that will be increasing as we go into the overnight hours. So that means more possible tornadic activity and severe thunderstorm warned storms even after the sun goes down, which poses another whole danger in and of itself. So anywhere along I-70, really from Salina, Kansas, back towards Manhattan, Topeka, Kansas City, and then south along I-35, that's where we're going to have the risk for severe thunderstorms, possible tornadoes, and quite a bit of hail and thunderstorms. But Alex, again, a state known for tornadoes. Topeka hasn't really had a major tornado in quite some time, but we're going to talk about the history of that coming up before the storms arrive, so be sure to stick around for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting stuff, Chris. Thanks so much. I look forward to hearing more about that, because I do think, we talk about places like Kansas and Oklahoma, and these are places that other parts of the country think to when they think of severe weather.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the area, right? Yeah. The tornado alley that we often think about. Right. But we've got some storms well outside of that area to look forward to tomorrow.
Right. We're still going to watch the central part of the country, but we noticed that northeast extension all the way over towards parts of the I-95 corridor.
Yeah, absolutely. Boston, not out of the question that you could see a strong storm move through tomorrow, as you are in the potential for some strong damaging winds. We're going to have this pretty strong jet in the upper levels that's going to sneak down towards the surface. This is going to be the culprit for some added lift and shear in the atmosphere. So keep that in mind. We're going to be seeing storms basically move from left to right across the street all throughout the day tomorrow, basically continuing on from yesterday into today. So Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, you could be getting some strong storms with those strong winds and some heavy rain in the morning. And then after that, things just keep going. We're going to see some spotty storms move across Vermont, New Hampshire, and then off towards Boston in the evening, Alex. So a morning commute and evening commute definitely affected. But you mentioned this last hour. Power outages are a possibility with potentially the soggy ground that we have and the strong winds that we could get.
Yeah, anytime you get strong winds and soggy ground over these areas where there's a lot of tree cover, that always tends to be a problem in some of these Ohio Valley and northeastern states.
Yes, definitely.
All right, Dr. Navarro, thanks so much. So something else to watch for.
Yep, and particular risk right now, Oklahoma and Texas. A lot of warnings happening for us currently, so we show you them lighting up now. Getting closer and closer to Oklahoma City. We have one tornado warning here right along the Red River, just over into Oklahoma. So tornado warning for us here in Tillman County. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to tilt the radar in 3 dimensions here. You get an idea of what's going on here, because these are some really tall, towering thunderstorms for us here. As we tilt this, one thing you'll end up noticing is there's opportunity here for more chances of large hail, because the bigger and taller these thunderstorms get, the more opportunity you get for really cold atmosphere. What that does is create really big updrafts that are suspending out. You can see how tall some of these storms are, right? But for some of you, watch out for some of that hail. It's going to be big time for you. Tornado warning again for Tillman County. This entire line pushing its way east. More from our team in the field when we come back.
no.
When you carry out, some things are out of your control. But with Domino's new carry-out insurance, we'll replace your pizza if it gets ruined after you leave the store. Carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 every day.
All right, I brought in new Max Protein.
To give you the protein you need, with less of the sugar you don't. I'll take that.
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. New Ensure Max Protein and 2 great flavors.
Like a supermarket, the dark web is where identity thieves buy and sell your personal information. But now you can protect yourself with Experian. Get a completely free dark web scan to see if your identity has already been compromised. Go to Experian.com/free scan.
Introducing new Post-it Extreme Notes. They stick in tough conditions, so you can get it set and get just about any job done. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Post-it Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
So, what's new?
We just switched to Geico and got more.
More.
They've been saving folks money for over 75 years.
A company you can trust.
Geico even helped us with homeowners insurance.
More sounds great.
Gotta love more! Right, honey?
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Children's Claritin Allergy Relief, the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand. Because to a kid, a grassy hill is irresistible. Children's Claritin. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
There's nothing small about your business. With Dell Small Business Technology Advisors, you'll get the one-on-one partnership you need to grow your business. The Dell Vostro 15 laptop. Contact a Dell advisor today.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
My bladder leakage was making me feel like I couldn't spend time with my grandson. Now, Depend FitFlex has their fastest absorbent material inside, so it keeps me dry and protected. Go to depend.com, get a coupon, and try them for yourself.
For those who thirst for more, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper to refresh you for what's next. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Severe thunderstorms are only about an hour away now from Oklahoma City, and up in southwest Iowa and southern Oklahoma, we have a couple of tornado warnings, including in southern Oklahoma there, one that has had a tornado with that. We'll start with that one. Tillman County, there's been a tornado there reported about 4 miles southwest of Loveland in Tillman County. It's a supercell thunderstorm. The radar is right here, so the radar is chopping out part of what is a pretty well-defined hook echo, and that is coming toward places like from Loveland toward Grandfield, toward the Cookietown area of Oklahoma. Has a very well-defined gust front. The rain cooled, the rear flank downdraft pushing eastward. There's the inflow. So places like Hollister and over toward the Grandfield area could be tornadoes form along that leading edge of that rear flank downdraft's gust front. Then up into southwest Iowa, Ringgold County, tornado warning there. Storm running right along the edge, coming toward places like Tingley, the Grand River, the Van Wert area, with a possibility of tornadoes. And another little mini supercell up toward the Osceola, Iowa area. So some of these storms in this area could produce at least brief tornadoes. So if you get those warnings, please heed them. Mike, Alex?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thank you so much. Another active night of storms across the region.
Indeed, it has been. A lot of places we've had some very active weather ongoing through the evening. So we're going to check in with one of our storm trackers who's out there this evening. Joining us is Nathan Moore. Nathan, thanks so much for being with us. Tell us your exact location and what you're seeing right now.
Right now, I'm kind of near Cretenwood Falls, in just west of Emporia, Kansas, and just watching some storms here that are actually intensifying from Florence down to Perrins, it looks like, and just watching to see if anything develops. There's been a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning that's picked up, a lot of inflow winds, and been relatively quiet, so we just don't know if something might be finally starting to get rolling here.
Now, were you out yesterday? How does today compare to yesterday?
Yesterday I was in about 12 different tornado warnings, so it was very active and a very long day. But today's been much quieter as far as what's going on here in central Kansas. There's been some good winds and a lot of rain.
You know, we've seen these squall lines that have formed here, Nathan, and some of these storms have produced upwards of 90-plus mile-per-hour winds. Would you be prepared for something like that?
Oh, yeah. We had over by Great Bend, I was experiencing some incredible winds. So we've been through that. We've been through that once today, and as this line comes through here, I imagine it's going to get pretty crazy.
Yeah, and one thing we can see here on the camera are the grass out there and all these very flat lands, this prairie area. That must be helpful for you to really visualize the story and be able to tell the wind direction and everything. Probably one of the reasons why you like chasing here.
Oh, yeah, this part of Kansas is amazing. I mean, over in the north, it's really hilly, but right in here, you can just see forever. And when you see them winds pick up, especially when they're going towards the storm, things might be getting a little interesting.
So, Nathan, tell us about your plans here this evening. You're going to sit there and wait for these storms to come to you and then maneuver with them, or will that be it for the evening then?
Well, I was looking at the models and it looked like we might have an opportunity for some strengthening between now and 8. So I was going to give it that chance, and if nothing really decides to get really rolling at that point, I'd probably call it.
All right, Nathan Moore, thank you so much. Dr. Forbes also talking about that potential strengthening between now and about 8 o'clock. So as we go through the evening, as those storms roll through parts of Kansas and into central Oklahoma, even we could see these bump up a bit.
We might get another little punch of a low-level jet that'll just enhance the storms just maybe enough to get them to go here. So that's why we've got our team out there in the field watching it for you to keep you and your family safe. And we hope you can stick around because we've got a lot of dangerous weather unfolding right now. We're going to break it down for you hour by hour, the potential for strong tornadoes, big hail, and even damaging winds.
Yeah, we're going to show you where the threat is highest now, where it stays high into the overnight hours, and also where we'll be watching for severe storms tomorrow. All of that when we come back. A live look at the radar right now. You can see those warnings lined up, including a tornado warning just over the state line of Texas. This is the far southern part of Oklahoma, and there is a tornado with this storm. It's Tillman County, including the cities of Granfield and Loveland. We'll get more from Dr. Forbes next.
Okay, you missed it. Scroll up. Up.
Go down.
No, down.
Ooh, I want to watch the one where the guy says, Stella. Hey, Stella.
I wish I could search for it like that. With Dish, you can. Stop scrolling and just tell the remote. Here's looking at you, kid.
Wow.
That was cool.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Whoa.
That was awesome.
The new Dish voice remote. Stop scrolling. Just say what you want, and it's on. Dish, tuned into you.
I told myself I'd hit the course once work let up. Look at me now. I can't stop to groom myself, much less play 18. Oh, thanks, Karen. Don't make the same mistake I did. Become a Golf Now VIP member and snag a tee time without booking fees. VIP members also get cancellation protection and earn faster rewards. Ooh, coffee break. And break's over.
Why golf later when you can golf now?
I can't wait till the robots replace me.
Go play.
A tornado watch is in effect. Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, strong to severe thunderstorms likely, low 64. Thursday, afternoon thunderstorms developing, windy. A few storms may be severe, high 84. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You can drink, eat well, and exercise
But to look completely healthy, you need healthy skin. Cetaphil is clinically shown to strengthen the skin's barrier and protect even the most sensitive skin against dryness, so you can look healthier. Complete your healthy routine with Cetaphil.
Ever wonder where stains go? They go straight to a magical place called the Chamber of Stains, where a stain keeper collects and locks them away so they don't come back.
Whoa!
Clean and protect with Stain Master Carpet Cleaners.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
It's the biggest news ever at Olive Garden. All new big Italian classics starting at $12.99. Dishes too big to miss like stuffed fettuccine Alfredo. All new big Italian classics for a limited time only at Olive Garden.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain. We grow it. Give us the frontiers, the places where success is measured and pushed limits. Give us the middle of nowhere, where the only map is your buddy's tread marks. This life, no one's born ready for it.
I've contacted help, and they're on their way.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm going to stay with you until help arrives.
Thank you. Dear, it just came out of nowhere.
Graduation day, a new start. Now you can begin repaying your student loans. Refinance at Credible.com, where people have saved on average $18,000 over the life of their loans. In 2 minutes, you can be pre-qualified for real rates, not ranges, from trusted lenders.
Knock 7 years off my payments.
Stop paying too much. 2 minutes is all it takes to see how much you could save on your student loans. Visit Credible.com before your next payment is due.
My prescriptions used to be really expensive, but then I went to GoodRx.com.
It just works. You put in the drug you're looking for, and bang, you've got half a dozen or more choices in front of you of pricing and locations to get it.
You never think about shopping around for medication prices.
I have good insurance, but with GoodRx, I save even more money.
What? I was paying how much?
And it's absolutely free. No cost to me whatsoever.
I get to save $1,180 a year with GoodRx. This is awesome. Go to GoodRx.com and check it out.
It is a very brutal place to work. Anything can happen.
All new Highway Through Hell, Sunday nights at 8 on the Weather Channel.
New video coming in. Rain and hail in McPherson, Kansas. Winds at one point gusting over 49 miles per hour. That would mean 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, that would. Sometimes it can be the sounds of the storm that can scare you more than the actual sight of the storm.
Yeah, that wind gets going and
eerie.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling when you can hear it. You know, you're inside the house, you get the whistling here against your, the microphone or your camera.
And then you bring the hail.
Yeah.
And it's no fun. No bueno for sure. Hey, thanks for staying with us here on Weather Underground with Alex Wilson. I'm Mike Bettis. We're going to send upstairs to the lab and check in with our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. Dr. Forbes, everything's on the table tonight, including tornadoes.
Yeah, including damaging winds. We've had a report in Anadarko, Oklahoma, of metal roof taken off a house. That's about 45 minutes from Oklahoma City. And we have 3 tornado warnings now, 2 new ones, one in southeast Iowa, southeast Nebraska, and then an ongoing tornado in southern Oklahoma. We'll start with that one because there's been a reported tornado with that one. That one was southwest of Loveland, and they report that it's continuing. Comanche, Cotton, and Tillman counties with tornado warnings. A hook echo that is there, the inflow coming in, pretty well-defined circulation with that right there. You can almost see the spiral. So Granfield, the Cookie Town area of Oklahoma, you have a tornado headed your way. Wow. there is the red and yellow pushing eastbound, the inflow coming into that. And so where that touches, there is a definite tornado vortex signature. Let me see if there's any debris signature showing up with that. I think there is. Unfortunately, there are a lot of blue specks in there. I think there's still a tornado in progress, and it could be a fairly large one going to go in the areas northwest to just north of Granfield. It holds together over toward Walters, Oklahoma. Then southeast Nebraska, this is the north end of that squall line we've been following, heading towards St. Joseph, Missouri. Richardson County, Nebraska, possible tornado. One of these northbound lines intersecting the eastbound line. So possible tornado around Falls City, Brennerfield, Barada, Corning, and Craig areas. As here, the greens are this prevailing outflow that has in places had 90-mile-per-hour gusts with it. Then the warm air ahead of that. So the shifting winds there occasionally will produce tornado circulations. Southeast Iowa, individual supercell thunderstorm running east. Keokuk County, we have a possible tornado not too far away from Sigourney, including Keswick, Harper, Kyoto as the possible tornadoes. A broad circulation showing up with that particular storm. So, like I say, not too far away from the Sigourney area. Let's go now to St. Joseph, Missouri, where the storms are getting closer. Our Mike Seidel is there. Mike?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thank you so much. Threat for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes possible all across the state of Oklahoma this
That's
evening.
right. I want to check in with Jim Cantore. He is live for us tonight in Oklahoma. Jim, update us on your situation right now.
Mr. Bettis, we are heading west on 152 towards the town of Minco. I mean, when we left you last, those two supercells just absolutely exploded over the top of us. So much lightning, literally, I mean, we couldn't even get out of our car. That's how bad it is. So we're going to try and get up to 40 and then zip into Oak City. Obviously, we're not going to be ahead of this stuff, but we'll be able to hopefully cover it for you as it's coming in into the metro area. So the good news is, it hasn't looked as good from a radar perspective, but the bad news is it's still going to talk about very, very heavy rain with this. Lots of lightning, very dangerous lightning with this. Maybe even urban flooding, certainly with the kind of rainfall rates that we're getting out of this thing. So I'm telling you, it was a white knuckle drive here from eventually Binger all the way into Minco here. Guys, a lot of storms out there tonight. We're going to watch them move through these metro areas. Be safe. Mike, back to you.
Well, hey, Jim, I want to ask you about that. What would your advice be for folks that are traveling this evening?
You got to slow down on the highway, especially when that heavy rain moves in. I mean, when you literally can't see the white or the yellow in the middle of the road, and it's covered up by water. I mean, you face a chance of hydroplaning. And I know it's hard because you're like, well, I'm moving along just fine here. And then all of a sudden, boom, you slip and you get off the road. So just pull over, slow it down, if you have to. Maybe just park somewhere, let the stuff go through you and follow it in behind. And we were actually talking about that too. But we were out ahead of it at all times, and it was like the rain and the hail force were chasing us. But the lightning, Mike Bettis, I've never seen anything go within 10 to 15 minutes from the kind of, occasionally a bolt here, a bolt there, to literally nonstop lightning to the point where I couldn't even get out of my car and walk 10 feet and get into my cameraman's car. That's how bad it was.
Jim, what's that tell you? Is kind of a signal here that maybe the updrafts really intensified in that storm and got a big charge separation there?
Yeah, they were totally intensifying, and that you could correlate with the couplets. And this was back toward Gracemont, and when it was moving just east of Binger, that's where we saw all that stuff going on. So it was, incredible amounts of lightning. So no question, Mike, the correlation between increased flash rates, ground stroke lightning, I mean, definitely an intensifying supercell.
Jim, thanks for the report. We're actually showing the lightning.
The good news is we haven't seen as much.
We're showing the lightning strikes on the screen right now. They're lighting up Oklahoma. 2,000 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes. So stands to a good reason why you've seen so much there, Jim. Thanks for the report.
Yeah, and watching these storms kind of come together now in this complex. Heavy rain, Jim mentioned that possibility. Yeah. I'm looking at southern Oklahoma right now, getting those torrential downpours, and it can be tough.
But leading by example there, you got to stay in shelter. A car can offer you some decent shelter from lightning.
Absolutely. All right, Chris Bruin now. We're going to check in with him. He is in Topeka, Kansas. Chris, I can see the dark sky. I can see the wind beginning to pick up. So action's headed your way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just want to kind of describe the scene. Temperature has just dropped in the last 2 minutes, maybe 10, almost 15 degrees. It's a cold, dry wind. I mean, you really feel it. And look at the sky. Just look at these mammatus clouds. We have very low-hanging clouds. Winds have definitely picked up over the last minute or so. You can see a little bit of rotation. Now, we don't have any tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings. However, this storm is associated to a stronger storm just to our north, which is producing severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, there was a tornado warning to the north of us by a good 30, 40, 50 miles. But we're going to continue to watch what's going on here. Again, we're in Topeka, right along Interstate 470. And you can see how dark the sky is. I mean, this just changed probably in the last 5 minutes. Can you wear the hat because that's so strong? And if you see, I'm going to have Mark kind of pan off to the east. This is the direction the storm is going to. I mean, look at the sky conditions. Very low hanging clouds. These are indications of just very strong winds. The atmosphere is prime, of course. It hasn't started raining, and we have seen some lightning just off in the distance, still several miles away. But again, we have shelter here at the hotel, but things change that quickly, and that's why you really have to have a plan in place. So just look at the sky conditions there. I don't know if you saw a flash of lightning, but I don't know if that made the camera, but you can see that off in the distance. And again, not a lot of people on the roads. It looks like everyone here does know severe weather's coming. There's the rain shafts, and there's been a lot of report of hail off to our west. I mean, we've had hail reports of up to golf ball size, about 1.5 inches in diameter, some of the reports to the storms that are about to move in. And again, gusty winds surely going to be, that's going to be one of the biggest threats here in Topeka. Hail, most likely up to golf ball, potentially even softball size hail, as Dr. Eric Navarro has been referring to. Some areas in Kansas are going to see it. That's destructive. That's very destructive. And these storms, they can produce twisters and spin-ups very quickly. I mean, just look at the distance. I mean, look behind. There's where we have the rain, possibly even a hail core off to our west, and that storm's coming in hot. Even here towards the southwest, I mean, look at the sky conditions. Look at how quickly these storms have just developed as they get closer and closer to Topeka. A very eerie sight here, very quiet. It's just mind-boggling how quickly it's been so muggy, so warm and humid. I mean, we had temperatures in the 80s, and now we're down into the 60s, almost the 50s, with that cool downdraft, that gust front that has just popped up as the storm continues to develop. And I'm going to have Mark kind of focus on the clouds just off to your left, and you can kind of see a little bit of rotation, how those clouds drop down. Earlier, it looked like there was a wall cloud coming, and again, that's what we look for. That's what we look towards. Some of the sky conditions when we do anticipate strong winds and, of course, heavy rains. Starting to get a little bit of sprinkles right now, but for those who aren't familiar with severe storms, again, that's how quickly things change. And so rain just lies just beyond there, probably about a mile or two down to the west. That's where the rain is, and it's coming straight in our direction. And with the lightning on the way, we're probably going to have to go under into the hotel under the awning just for protection. But again, you can see how low those clouds are. I mean, we have little spin-ups, little funnels. No tornado warnings, at least for Topeka yet. However, that could change as these storms continue to push through. And I'm not sure if we have Dr. Greg Forbes on the line. Hey, Dr. Forbes,
hey, Chris.
Walk us through this storm. It's not severe warned, but we are seeing some little echoes of some little outbursts. What's the possibility of something like this producing a tornado?
Well, I think mostly the threat there would be some damaging gusts. I did notice while you were panning around something, the big downward bulging clouds that sometimes might be called, like in there, undulatus asperatus, a new kind of cloud formation. Right now we have 3 tornado warnings, one with an ongoing tornado in southern Oklahoma, one tornado warning in southeast Nebraska, one in southeast Iowa, and a lot of severe thunderstorms in between. Let's take a look at some of these. We'll start in the south with the tornadoes producing storm there southeast of Frederick, Oklahoma, Comanche, Cotton, and Tillman counties. There's been a couple of reports, or at least a continued report of tornadoes around the Loveland area, and so that is heading now toward the Walters area. Big spiraling area of